Welcome to the NFL All-Time Rosters franchise with Charger 295. With Aaron Rodgers and the greats of the Green Bay Packers against New Orleans on Thursday night, we begin week one of the regular season. The story begins with Aaron Rodgers, who throws for 4 touchdowns in the Green Bay victory, 2 to Don Hudson, a third later to James Lofton, and the final to tight end Paul Coffman to secure the Green Bay win. The best of the best NFL players meet here for the all-time roster franchise. Game 1 won by Green Bay, 31-13. 2 of the storied championship caliber franchises in the Steelers and the Ravens meet from the rain in Baltimore. In the second half, Hines Ward with not just 1 but 2 touchdown grabs to help give the Steelers a huge lead. Then to clinch the win, not Terry Bradshaw, the number 1 guy, Big Ben Roethlisberger dives in for the score. Pittsburgh wins this one on the road by 18. And we conclude the AFC North with this division clash between the Bengals and the Browns in Cleveland. Running back Jim Brown, 2-time NFL MVP and the all-time record holder for yards per game rushing in his illustrious career. He had the greatest rushing performance on opening weekend as the Browns blanked the Bengals 24-0. A big mismatch on paper out of the AFC South, all-time Colts, all-time Texans. Peyton Manning shreds the Houston secondary with over 200 yards, that touchdown to Harrison, and another goal line score from Lenny Moore. With 2:30 left to go, the Texans down 20-6. On 4th and 6, Deshaun Watson goes deep, and off the tip drill, Johnson's gone for the 79-yard touchdown. But Lenny Moore irons out the clock to win the game for the Colts in Houston, 20-13. The all-time mixture of Houston Oilers and Tennessee Titans visit Jacksonville to take on the Jags. Hall of Fame signal caller Warren Moon throws the Titans-Oilers into the lead before Mark Brunell responds. Keenan McCardell gets by the secondary and we're tied at 7. Going into the fourth quarter, locked up at 10. Not much offense in this one. Under 2 minutes to go. Earl Campbell, they feed him the ball, which is a good idea, and Warren Moon was brilliant throughout. Drew Hill led all receivers with 9 catches on the day and sets up the offense in position to win the ball game. First and goal from the 4, Earl Campbell driving in for the lead, but a flag would be on the offense, so they'd replay first down from the 11-yard line. Why not feed Earl Campbell again, right? He coughs up the ball at the goal line and John Henderson recovers. They had a shot to win it right there. Instead, Jacksonville wins the toss to begin overtime. Maurice Jones-Drew was outstanding in the extra session as he drives the offense into position to win it, and Scobie from 38 is perfect. The Jaguars steal one against the Titans-Oilers on opening day, 13-10 in overtime. The all-time Chicago Bears, arguably the greatest franchise ever established in the National Football League. 9 NFL championships for Chicago and 23 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Walter Payton may be the best Hall of Famer out of the bunch for Chicago. He ran the ball very well with 146 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. Hall of Fame fullback Bronco Nagurski finds the end zone, and so does backup Gale Sayers, the Kansas Comet. Then Sid Luckman scores again. Harlan Hill, the backline for Chicago. This was no contest. The Bears humiliate Atlanta on opening day, 35-9. Game of the week from Arrowhead, and this lived up to the billing between Jim Kelly and the Bills against Patrick Mahomes and the all-time Kansas City Chiefs. The 2 quarterbacks threw for nearly 600 yards and 5 touchdowns. The touchdown frenzy begins with Tyreek Hill from 58. Then Mahomes goes deep again to Dwayne Bowe. 14-3 Chiefs late in the half. But Jim Kelly, who never won an MVP award but was runner-up in 91, he certainly wasn't a runner-up in this game today. Great start to the fourth quarter. Andre Reed followed by another Eric Mould score, and Buffalo with a 2-pointer takes the 21-14 lead with 7:07 to go. You can't doubt out Patrick Mahomes, especially against this team, the Buffalo Bills. It's not quite 13 seconds, but still a masterful drive for the Hall of Fame QB. A wide-open Travis Kelce, his former teammate. And then to tie the game, a lunging Otis Taylor ties the fourth quarter. It's 21-all. After a Chiefs punt, Jim Kelly, with a chance to be the hero, marches the offense right downfield. First down, Stephon Diggs. Then with the Bills down to one timeout, Diggs yet again into field goal range for Ryan Lindell. And the kicker splits the uprights from mid-distance. And courtesy of a 304-yard day from Jim Kelly, the Bills win in a shootout, 24-21. The all-time Rams of Los Angeles and St. Louis. There's Eric Dickerson as they play host to Philadelphia to begin the regular season. Dickerson only totaled the ball 12 times on the day, but this one is a 72-yard house call, and with Marshall Faulk, the backup, finding the end zone too. This was all Rams. 14-3 in the Dome going into the fourth quarter. The Eagles do begin the period with a long drive capped by Brian Westbrook. Two-pointers no good. Then Kurt Warner's next pass is an interception to Chuck Bednarik and Randall Cunningham, who went 20 for 25 on the day. With under a minute left, finds the tight end for the lead, Pete Retzlaff, from 11 yards out. Two-pointer no good again, so it's 15-14. Final shot for Kurt Warner, who finds his receiver Isaac Bruce once, and then he targets Bruce on a 3rd and 17 here with no time on the clock. This one for the win, plenty of arm on this one, and Bruce dropped it. It would have won the game for the Rams. So close to a win here. Eagles escape on the road, 15-14. Thrilling football game from Tampa. Tom Brady, the Hall of Fame quarterback, leading the way for both the Patriots and the Buccaneers. The Tampa version battles Detroit today. Tom Brady was on his A game in the first half. Not one, not two, but 3 first-half touchdowns for the Buccaneer quarterback. 2 to Allstott, and Tampa leads it 21-0 with 4:25 left in the first half. Brady with 3 scores and 154 yards. Then Barry Sanders strikes for Detroit, and this would wake up the offense. A gain of 74, then Dutch Clark would cap it off with a touchdown. After a Detroit field goal, Calvin Johnson finds the end zone. We're at a 4-point game, and to make matters worse, in the second half, Mike Allstott goes down. It's a dislocated hip, and he's out for a month. Join us tomorrow for the roster report to figure out who all was injured and what the depth charts will look like going into week 2 of the all-time roster franchise. Warrick Dunn shoulders the load for the Bucs in the second half, running the football with Allstott out. He scores the consequential touchdown for Tampa as Bobby Lane on 4th and 23 is denied late in regulation. Tampa Bay wins this one 28-20. The all-time 49ers, with 17 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, overwhelmed Seattle today. Frank Gore with the longest run of any tailback in Week 1, an 88-yarder for the Niners. Then Defensive Player of the Week, Kermit Alexander with the pick six, and that was almost too easy for San Francisco, winning the ball game 30-8. The complete franchise of the Washington Redskins and Commanders in the nation's capital to battle the division rival Giants. Number 43, Larry Brown, scored not once, but after the Monk touchdown, a second score here in the fourth quarter. He certainly was one of the best backs of his era. Eli Manning, who was sacked 9 times on the day, coughs up the fumble, and Kerrigan scoops and scores. The Redskins Commanders humiliate their division rivals 41-15. Dexter Manley led the league in sacks with 4 in the opener. The all-time San Diego Los Angeles Chargers boast one of the most talented rosters in the entire league. A couple of Hall of Famers for the lead here, 71 yards from Fouts to Allworth, but the lead would vanquish in less than a minute. Adrian Peterson from 78 yards all the way for the Viking touchdown. Down by 6 on a 3rd and goal, Dan Fouts would lose the ball on a Jared Allen fumble. Kevin Williams picks it up and had a foot race to the end zone. It was the lineman Chris Dielman who tripped him up, which wound up being a big tackle in the fourth quarter. Peterson denied on a 3-and-out, which gives the ball right back to San Diego, Los Angeles, and Dan Fouts, the all-time passing leader for a single season at 82, the record at the time, throws one to Winslow, who goes all the way for the go-ahead Charger touchdown with 59 seconds to go. A chance for Tarkenton, though, on the road to be the hero in this one. 4th and 5 with the game on the line. He throws one up for grabs, and Moss, usually a good receiver on those jump balls, could not make the catch. The league's leading passers, Dan Fouts, as the Chargers win this one in comeback fashion. Jim Hart came into the NFL as an undrafted free agent, came out of the NFL 3rd on the all-time passing list. He throws for 249 yards and a touchdown against the Panthers as Arizona blanks Carolina 7-0. Crazy football game on Sunday night between Namath and the all-time Jets against the all-time Cowboys. We pick up the action on the game's opening drive. Roger Staubach throws right into the hands of a lunging Mark Gastineau. He never had an interception in his career. Of course, picks it off in the game's first drive. Everson Walls, meanwhile, had 57 in his illustrious career, including 11 as a rookie. Takes this one all the way back for a Dallas touchdown. Michael Irvin had some big plays too in his day. Reels in a lunging pass over 3 defenders. Check out this reception for the Cowboys legend Michael Irvin, and the Cowboys would punch it in a few plays later. Walker in the 3rd with a 2-point conversion. Staubach comes back with one of the fastest men alive, Bob Hayes, 21-11, before Curtis Martin, an all-time great Patriot and Jet, scores to make it a field goal game. Dorsett in the 4th quarter denied on 3rd down, so Namath has a chance to win it. One of the great quarterbacks in the clutch throws it right into the hands of Hall of Fame safety Cliff Harris. And the Cowboys survive on the road to win on opening day, 21-18. Dallas will battle San Francisco next week in a big football game. Both Staubach and Namath throw 3 interceptions in this one. The front end of the Monday night doubleheader takes us to South Florida in a good one between the Patriots and the Dolphins. Martin scores in this game as well for New England, but on Miami's first drive, they'd find the end zone too. Marino to Duper from 21 yards out. After a Madison interception, Paul Warfield finds the end zone, but the Patriots bounce back again. The 2-time league leader in rushing during the 1960s gone for the Patriots score at 17-14 at the half, and he'd take the offense with him. Nance did not touch the ball in the second half. Williams and the Dolphins tried to milk away the game, but they gave it back to Brady, who was denied on 4th down. Then after a sack, he'd have to try another 4th down here. With 17 to go, this won't get it done. The Patriots are blanked in the second half, and Miami beats their AFC East rival 20-14. Jim Nance ran well in the first half, but did not touch it in the second. And we conclude the first week of the all-time rosters franchise with a Monday night showdown out of the AFC West. John Elway and the all-time Broncos against the all-time Oakland Las Vegas Raiders. The only touchdown of the day late in the first half to Shannon Sharp from Elway. 10-3 in the 4th, and Allen bruises his sternum on this play and was out for the remainder of the game. Now he'll return for the Week 2 contest against Buffalo. Stabler sacked there, they'd have to punt. Then this to keep their hopes alive, incomplete to Brown. The Broncos defense holds Oakland, Las Vegas to under 150 yards for the game. Tough day in the office for Kenny the Snake Stabler. Scores from Week 1 and a preview to Week 2 of the all-time rosters franchise. And here are the Week 1 leaders of the all-time rosters franchise, with these being the greatest players in NFL history. This roster took over 4 months to develop, and still an additional period of time after the development to trim the roster from 60 players to 53 players. Some very tough decisions were made throughout the preseason as the great 53 men of every NFL franchise was put together in preparation for this series to determine the greatest franchise in NFL history. Plenty of access throughout the year with full game broadcasts throughout the week and into the weekend. Highlights beginning tomorrow morning for the roster update show and injury reports throughout the National Football League. This is the all-time rosters franchise with Charger 95.